Alright, hello everybody, this is Daniel with Backwater Outfitters. Today we're looking at it's a Penn reel, 320 GTi, high speed, looks like a 4 to 5.1 gear ratio. It's got quite a bit of corrosion. I know this was used in salt water, I know the guy who owned it. So there's some corrosion here along the support bar and down here on the line guide. I'm sorry. A little bit of pitting going on here. I don't know how much of this we'll be able to get cleaned up, but when I'm right there, it's catching. So there's something going on inside. Hopefully, it's not too bad. We can get it in decent condition. Thought about keeping this for myself. Do some heavy game, catfishing with or something, put it on my larger rod. But yeah, so I'll get back with you. I'm gonna get everything set up and we'll start taking a look at this one. Alright, so we'll start by getting this handle off. Now Penn makes a tool similar to this that would fit this, but I don't have that, so I'm gonna try to use some channel locks to get that off, and hopefully it's not going to be too bad. Let me get them set up here. I don't want to get too crazy. Man, that is on there. So, got a feeling what I'm going to do. Well, I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some WD-40 on this and let this sit for a little bit. Hopefully that'll kind of loosen it up, and we'll come back in a minute. Alright, let's give this a try here. Oh yeah, didn't take much, so that's encouraging. Let's see here. Everything acts real stiff. Dry. Incidentally, I've never worked on one of these reels, so this is gonna be an adventure for me. Apologize if my hands are getting in the way. These screws are really stiff. I figured once I get them broke loose, they start wanting to come out fairly easy, but it's not the case. They're taking a little bit of effort. Let's see where it is. Go. Spool. Get that line off later. Clean that up. It's not too bad. I mean, other than just, quite a bit of corrosion again, like I said, on the level one. And I can see some indication where that corrosion rubbed off back here on the clicker ring. Bearing here seems to be spinning fairly free. Pretty dry. Pretty dry. Very dry. Gear stack. Looks like some Carbon-Tex washers. Yoke springs. Well, I thought I was going to find a lot of shellac grease in there, but to my surprise, I don't find hardly any grease in there. Everything seems to be moving fairly freely. I know you can't really see this, but the bearing actually seems to be moving pretty free too, but I cleaned it up and flush it. What I'll do is I'll use some, I'll use a CRC, coil-free degreaser, spray through there. lube it up, and then blow it out with some air, and put a couple drops of oil. So I mean, there's not even hardly anything to take off in here. Usually it's quite the opposite. I find there's a lot of grease and what have you. Shoot some WD-40 in here. Whatever is in there, loosen it up. Friction washer. Yep. Get that off. Out of everything, I think this little booger here is going to give me fits. I did not. I've never done a reel like this before. So all I'm going to do is take and clean all these parts off real good. Take this gear stack, lay it out. Quite a few washers here. That said, I'm going to stop the video here. I'll get it cleaned up and we'll come back and maybe get this other side plate off and work on this, get it lubed up. There is a bearing in here. I could tell the level wind and the worm gear need to be cleaned up and worked. We'll probably take my little Dremel and see if I can't get some of this corrosion off of these parts here. Alright, so we'll be back. Alright, here's the star wheel, and hopefully you can pick that up on the camera there. There's some oxidation going on. So I just figured I'd show y'all kind of my technique. What I do is I'll take a Dremel and see if I can't get some of that off. Now you want to be careful because you can go too far with it. I just do it a case-by-case basis. A lot of people will use some like a 4/0 steel wool, and that's fine, to each his own. But like I said, depending on, you know, if I think whether or not I can get it better with the Dremel or make it easier, I will. But this is kind of what this process looks like for me. And I'll put it on a low speed. And I just kind of lightly hit it, and I'll show you here in a second that it's coming off pretty good. Now I probably won't be able to get it all off, but you wouldn't be able to get it all off necessarily with steel wool either. But and I'm just barely hitting it, doing little strokes, and just kind of give you an idea. If you can see this this pennant here compared to these others, it's coming off pretty good. So anyway, I won't bore you with the process. I'm going to go ahead and continue cleaning this up. I've already started cleaning these parts up. Everything over here is pretty much clean. I got the bearing flushed, dried out. It's in real good shape, so it's not going to be an issue. Once I get it installed, I'll drop a drop or two of oil in the bearing. But we'll come back here in a minute. Get that set flush. Tricky. Looks like it's seated all the way. Put a little cow's drag grease, not a whole lot. Probably just going to put it on these metal washers. You can do this, people do it, install them dry with the Carbon-Tex. And others will put a light coat like I'm doing here. Tex washers will hold up a lot better than your conventional drag washers that you see in most other reels. They can take a lot of heat, pressure. Oh, don't want to do that. There we go. Come on. This one's keyed, so there it goes. Pretty much got everything cleaned up. Really the only thing left is the spool, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this right side plate together. See when we start working through it. We'll start with this cam lever. Raised up. So when you go to put this cam lever in, of course it's going to go right here. But you got a, let's see if I can get something to point with, this little section right here. I don't know, you call it a triangle, whatever. You want to make sure that you get this spring post inside here, just like that. And now we're going to rotate it. There's some shoulders on the graphite piece that this has to go into. We'll take our lever here for now. We'll use it to manipulate it. Turn it how we need it. Looks like it's set in place now. So we'll take this, flip it over, and actually what you want to do, you're going to rotate it to where you kind of feel where it kind of balances in between. Right in there. And on this other side, you're going to pinch it. It is a little tricky. Okay, and you're going to flip the lever over. Hopefully it will stay before it flips back. Take your screw. We got it in just in time. Tighten down on it. All right. Now then, we're going to work on our yoke. Anywhere there's parts that rub against each other, any kind of friction, you want to put some grease. Take our springs, our yoke springs, put them in those indentations, like so. Get your yoke plate. Before we get too far, let me go ahead and get these parts lubed up. I did lube the bearing. It was flushed, and put some new oil on it. Main shaft here. It's hanging up. Nope, that is not right, because that let me double check this here. Something don't seem right. Make sure that stack was wrong. I think I should have ended up with a metal washer on top is my problem here. I ended up with a carbon, so let's see what we got. Let's put this on here. check the schematic here. 7 drag washer is 200. Stop the video here real quick. Let me see if I can get this figured out. Alright. Back. So I've got this ready to go. Let's try this again. Plate. And now switch this way, bridge plate. Once you get that bridge plate on, if you'll swap this over, that kind of helps lock it in. Hold that in place. Take our pinion gear. And before we do that, we're going to put some grease on it. Alright, now the fun part. Alright. So you're going to take one of these long, all threaded screws, have it ready. You're going to take your main gear and you're going to kind of come in at the side. Washers will all stay in place. Okay. Now you're going to rotate your cam lever back so that drops down. You can kind of slide this around, and right here is where you're going to get your screw. Come up through the bottom. Your dog is going to sit in like this over the screw, and then you're going to rotate this around. Probably have to drop that screw down a little bit to miss it, and then it should click into place. Find your post right there, and then come from the back side. Should hold it. So yeah, that can be challenging. Now we're going to take the spring. It's on the dog. There's a little post right there. You're going to drop it in over that. Almost. There it is. Okay. Now you're if you hold your plate like this, these all threaded screws are going to go into the bottom part. tighten them up just yet. Keep everything semi-loose. That way, in case you have to adjust anything, you have a little play in it. Snug, diagonal, snug, snug. There's your plate. Okay. Sleeve. I should drop it down in there. Spring. Put a little grease on these threads. Alright, this should be the right side plate for now. And we start working on the left side plate. Alright, where is our idler gears? Over here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do, I'll set that bearing back in, put a drop of oil down in here. You got a little shim washer that fits in there. And we'll put a bearing. Bearing. All right. Grease on the idler bearing post. Oop, that didn't work like I wanted it to. This could be fun. To get all that to line up. Got a little tiny space to work with. Get your hands in there. You'll get it. Okay. Make sure it spins freely. It does. Now we're going to take our clicker post. get this E-clip back on, which is going to be fun. Come on. Sure, I don't that on backwards. Yeah, let me see what I got here. There's a little guidepost to put this on. Get it clicked in. Okay. Screw on. Alright, there you have it. That's that side. Now, we can work on the worm gear assembly. Now when you go to put this in, this guard, if you look, there's some indentations on the collar, the bearing there, whatever you want to call it, and you got to make sure that that goes in. There's stops on it, and you'll know when you hit it just right. We'll go ahead. I think I can go ahead and just slide this bearing, this worm gear in. Now we're going to go ahead. Oh, what do I do with it? Oh, it's hiding right here in plain sight. Get this in. I think I got lucky and hit it the first time. Now you've got this bushing here has to go on, and it'll do the same thing. Collar stops on it. It puts it in the right place where it needs to be. Oh, but you've got to get your line guide on first. Haha. So we got to back all this off again. Getting ahead of myself. Let's see if we get this post in. on, slip in. There. Whoop. Alright, apologize for that. So my battery died, and so I'm not, I think where we left off I was putting the level line guide and worm gear and everything together. Well, as you can see, it's together. So now all we got left is the right side plate, the spool's cleaned up, and we're ready to move forward. Put a little grease here. Get this slipped in. Let me get those gears to line up. I think that's it. Yep, see the line guide is floating along just nicely. Alright, get the ring on. It's only going to go one way, so locks in place there. There. Let's push everything together. Let's do a little practice run. Let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put a little coat of light grease on these screws. They're all the same size, so no worries in trying to make sure you're getting them in the right place. Let's see. Get them all snugged. Let's get the star drag. Alright, so on this handle nut, there's, as you can see, there's a scalloped edge, and you're going to want to line that scalloped edge up with this screw, the keeper. Something like that. Better. Just turn the clicker off. Dogs are working good. There's no hard spot in the winding like it used to be. I would get so far and it'd stick and not want to go. Let's back off on the drag. There we go. There's a Penn 320 GTi put back together, cleaned up. As you can see, got a lot of the corrosion off. Couldn't help it here. Got the corrosion off the support bar up here for the line guide, but as you can see, also ate into past the plating a little bit. But all in all, I think it's going to be fine. Regular maintenance on this will keep this working for a long time. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, this is Backwater Outfitters.